Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton, here with my co-host, Sid Roeder. How are you today?
Good morning, Bryce. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. I was hoping to hear fabulous out of your mouth, but great works.
Oh, we'll leave it at great for today.
For today. All right. Well, good. Well, I'm excited for our show. I'm hoping to learn a lot, even more than we've learned in the past on nutrition and whatnot going on. But before we dive into this, will you tell us about our sponsor?
Absolutely. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that have dedicated their time and efforts to provide information to seniors, their family members, and anyone that loves to listen to us every Saturday. If you'd like to find out more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, or for a quick contact, you can reach me personally at 435-512-6406.
Thank you for doing that. And we have one of our new members of the Empowering Senior Group with us today, Heidi Stimpson. How are you? Welcome to back to the show.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us a little about your company and what you do, and then we'll get into it from there?
Yeah, so I am in North Logan. It's NextLevel Health and Wellness. I do functional nutrition, and I mean, that can be pretty broad, but I really tend to focus on working with people with gut health conditions, if you've got digestive issues, hormonal shifts as you age. Those are kind of my area of expertise that I work with. You can find me at nextlevelhw.com or my phone number at 435-774-2240.
Fantastic. All right. So Next Level. So tell us why you called it Next Level. I mean, we've talked before the show about what kind of things you do. You do a big deep dive into your overall health and take it to the next level. But you want to kind of explain that process for us?
Yeah. Next Level Health. I do. I'd like to take a deep dive, exactly as you said. I like to start with lab work. We've talked a little bit about that before. Understanding I do functional lab work, but it's primarily just blood work and looking at several different areas of health from, your kidney health, liver health, so metabolic health overall. But looking a little bit deeper at things maybe you haven't heard of, oxidative stress, acidity in the body, things like that can affect your health overall. So it's more than a basic lab panel. I take a deep dive into that. And as I put that together, when somebody does the functional panel that I have, it gives me direction and I piece it together like a puzzle. I start to see different patterns where we can address the root cause exactly with somebody instead of like, this marker's off, here's a supplement for this. This marker's off, here's a supplement for this. The body works as a full system. It's not independent things, and everything influences each other. So as I get this full picture with this lab panel, I can dial in like, the biggest issues are happening here. Let's address this, and these other things might fall into place. So it is next level. It's looking at labs at a next level perspective to optimize your health instead of just treat things with a bandage, whether that's a medication or even a supplement can be a bandage sometimes. Where let's get to the root cause and address that.
So it's a pretty complex way to analyze someone's body, Heidi. And I do know that in your treatment plan, you do have visits with your clients. So how long does one of those visits typically go to sit down and evaluate what changes have come forth with the treatment?
Yeah, to do that first appointment is typically 60 to 90 minutes. We go through the review of findings with the lab work, and it depends on the person. Some want to understand how I came to these conclusions, so we'll dive into that if you want to understand the markers that I'm looking at, and then outline a detailed plan for you and go through it so that you understand why this is the plan for you based on, the results of the labs and why I'm recommending certain things. And from there, I have, follow-up consultations. We do packages where you get that initial consult and follow-up to help you implement the plan. So,
now, are you treating a lot of people that are just trying to do preventative stuff, or that they're just, oh man, I'm tired and I can't figure out why, or what are some of those trigger symptoms?
I get quite a combination of both. I have, but a lot of people, it's like they've been to their doctor and because they just don't feel well, and they'll get that basic lab panel and it's like, well, everything looks normal. And they're looking for, those conventional ranges are looking for disease. But disease is a process that happens over time. You don't get diabetes overnight. You don't get, metabolic issues overnight. That tends to happen over time. So you're going to see fatigue. You're going to see your blood pressure go up. You're going to see all of these things happen before you're in a disease state. So people tend to come in and say, I'm not feeling well and I can't figure out why. Nobody can help me figure out why. So this helps. We look at optimal ranges. So the functional ranges are where do most healthy people fall in these ranges versus, looking for disease, you're going to fall outside of those conventional ranges. The optimal ranges say most healthy people fall within this. So if you're outside those optimal, you're going to see symptoms. You're not going to feel quite right. You're going to have brain fog, some fatigue, things like that are just, you're not functioning optimally. And so I would say the majority of my clients are coming in with just these symptoms nobody can answer for.
So I've got a little question because you touched on diabetes and as people are aging, that obviously seems to be a problem that increases with age. Are there ways that are not traditional medicine to help that you can help people through?
Yes. Biggest thing, and nobody wants to hear this because I know that it's hard. I do acknowledge that lifestyle changes can be hard, and that's why I love the packages that we offer so you get that coaching through it. But diet is going to be the biggest contributor to, blood sugar imbalances. So we got to start there and implement those changes. And it's, getting enough protein and fiber in your diet and things like that. But there are supplements. Like I do work with a lot of people who don't want the medications because of the side effects with those. And so there are supplements that can help. And that's what a supplement is. It's to supplement what you're doing with the rest of your lifestyle that can help with some of those symptoms as well.
Thank you, Heidi. We're already coming up on our first break here, so let me mention our sponsor one more time, which is the Empowering Seniors Group. If you would like to learn more about them, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, or you can also give me a call at 435-512-6406. This is the Senior Moments Show. We're visiting today with Heidi Stimson from NextLevel Health and Wellness. Did I say that right?
Yep.
In North Logan here. And we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Oliver with Cache Valley Pharmacy and owner of Focus Pharmacology, Cache Valley's own premier supplement line. With the beginning of the new year and everyone's health and pocketbooks in focus, we are offering buy one, get one free on all our locally made high quality supplements. With already competitive cash pricing, along with our state-of-the-art lab for all your compound needs, why go anywhere else? Start your new year off right and come to Cache Valley Pharmacy today. Cache Valley Pharmacy, keeping it local. Online at cachevalleypharmacy.com.
Are you tired of feeling unwell and not knowing why? At NextLevel Health and Wellness, we hear you. We specialize in uncovering the root causes of your discomfort, whether it's gut health, hormone imbalances, or emotional and mental blocks. With personalized plans, advanced lab testing, and evidence-based holistic nutrition practices, we guide you toward lasting health and wholeness. Awaken your healing potential with a team that listens, understands, and supports you wherever you are. Visit nextlevelhw.com to start your journey to feeling better today.
Hi, this is Tyler. Recently, my father passed away, and White Pine provided the funeral services for our family. They were friendly, thoughtful, and attentive to every detail. You know, it isn't often that a loved one passes away, so it was very important to my family that everything be handled just right. Because my dad was loved by so many people, we had a lot of family and friends that traveled from out of town. I really appreciate how White Pine Funeral Services made sure everyone was comfortable and that the focus was where it needed to be, on my dad and my family. They really took care of us during this tender time.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Did you know that one of the greatest threats to our quality of life is a fall? 1/3 of Americans 65 and older, and 1/2 of those over 80 will fall this year. Many will never be the same again, and some will never return to their homes. This is Bruce at Comfort Care. One of the ways we can help people stay in their home is through our free in-home fall protection survey. Let us help you identify these fall risks. Call us at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
And welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton, here with Sid Roeder, my co-host, and we've been talking with Heidi Stimson all about nutrition and health in her company, NextLevel Health and Wellness. And before the break, we were talking about, some of those trigger feels, symptoms that, I'm feeling like this. I should call you. So my question is now, what's kind of that natural aging process that, hey, this is normal and this is not, and what should people be looking out for?
Yeah, so naturally, as we age, our body's going to go through changes, and that's not necessarily pathological. There's pathological aging that, disease occurs much faster, and there's aging. So the natural things that happen as we age is around age 30, we start losing muscle mass. And so that's pretty early, at 30. So it's really important that we actively work to maintain our muscle mass as we age, because your muscle is a metabolic organ. And without muscle, you start to lose your metabolism, things slow down. And it is normal for fat to redistribute through the body. So less subcutaneous fat, so that's fat underneath the skin, and more visceral fat around the organs. So again, it's movement, it's diet that's going to prevent some of that stuff from accelerating. Lower stomach acid production, so we start to struggle with digestion. There's changes in the gut microbiome that affects digestion. It affects your immune system. It affects your brain function. So there are a number of changes that happen naturally, and there are things that you can do to prolong that. So it's not happening in your 40s, your 50s, and that's a lot of the age group that I work with, because they are wanting to prevent that aging process. If that is where you're at as a senior, there are still things that you can do to help, slow down that aging process that happens. Even reverse things if there's chronic disease involved. There are things that you can reverse. So,
Heidi, you said that magic word. I love that. Microbiome. You're going to have to explain a little bit, because to me that always sounds like that magic little world inside of me.
It is a magic little world. There are trillions of microbes. And when we hear the word gut microbiome, the research that's been done is primarily on the colonic microbiome. So when you hear that, and there are trillions and trillions of it's bacteria, it's fungi, it's even viruses and what are known as bacteriophages. Like, it's made up of this expansive ecosystem that outnumbers the cells in your body. I believe it's 10 to 1 or 100 to 1. And so the research on it is actually fairly new. Like, we don't know a lot about it, but it's fascinating what we're finding out. It regulates metabolism. It's involved in breaking down nutrients and unpacking nutrients from your food. This isn't just your body's cells that are doing this. Those microbes are so important for our health. Without them, we would be diseased. So it's fascinating. I could talk all day about the microbiome.
So how do you go about figuring out if you have a healthy microbiome, am I saying that right, or an unhealthy microbiome? Is there a way to test that in your labs that you're drying? Or
Yeah. Even in the blood work, I can tell if there's inflammation going on in the body. A lot of times that stems from the gut, and that can be from diet. I do have testing that we can look at the composition of your microbiome to see if there's imbalances, because there's certain microbes that produce compounds that are essential for our health. That's the source of these nutrients in our body. And so if those are imbalanced, you have less of the bacteria that are producing these compounds that we need. There's certain fibers. So that's where we get specific with the type of fiber, so that we can feed those microbes so that they can grow and restore that balance in the body.
Let me just kind of hook into, you were talking about inflammation, and I think that's one thing I hear from a lot of seniors and manifesting also in arthritis, pains, and problems with digestion. What's one of the pathways you help people getting the inflammation down in their bodies?
It starts with the gut, actually. So, and it can stem from a lot of things. Our environment, the things we're putting into our body. Your gut lining is very, very thin. It's half the width of a human hair. And it's that thin so that nutrients can get in, but it's also meant to keep toxicity out. Kind of like a healthy boundary in the body. And when that gets damaged, you've got your immune system right behind that's going to be overactive. So you no longer have that boundary in your body. And so when that's damaged, your immune system's right behind that. Inflammation is a natural process in the body. If you cut your finger, it's inflammation that's going to help that wound heal. So what happens is if you don't give your gut the support it needs to heal, your immune system will stay active. And then you have chronic inflammation, and that will go systemic. And that chronic inflammation can affect your skin health, your joint health, your brain health, cardiovascular health. So, and it kind of begins with, most of it begins with that barrier in the gut. And we have to work on repairing that through, it depends on the person, but again, diet is going to be a huge thing here.
Okay, you keep talking about diet. You've talked about, movement for the muscles and diet. What are some tips real quick before we get into our next break about what you should be looking for in food that you're putting into your body? Yeah,
real food. I think we complicate the diet a lot into numbers and mathematics, and that is all good, especially if you have specific goals. But when we're just talking about health in general, real food, our body knows what to do with real food. So I'm talking vegetables and fruits and whole grains and, good meat, like all of it. It's just, if you're eating real food, your body knows what to do with that. So even though sometimes it seems complicated when you get a plan, and if we're addressing inflammation, there's certain foods that we do want to stay away from, but it's primarily processed foods that are driving inflammation in the body. So, and to quickly define a processed food, because I think that can be confusing. I mean, if it's in a package, it's been processed. But as far as functional medicine goes, if you look for foods that have 5 ingredients or less on the label, if you've got a huge list of ingredients, it's a processed food. There's artificial stuff. Your body doesn't need that. It doesn't know what to do with it. It sees it as a toxin. And so if you are eating real food, vegetables, what can you grow in your garden? What grows on trees? And then, good lean sources of protein and healthy fats. Can't forget that.
Thank you, Heidi. We're almost there again with your next break, so maybe just enough time to mention your phone number.
You can reach me at 435-774-2240.
Thank you. This is the Senior Moment Show. We're going to take a short break again. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's tough knowing how to care for an aging parent. Mom has always been there for me, but now I need to be there for her. When we found out she needed surgery, I wondered how I could attend to her needs and still be mom to my kids. I was so relieved to learn about transitional rehab at Maple Springs in North Logan. From the nurses to the physical therapists, it was like their whole staff was focused on helping Mom get better. Maple Springs in North Logan was an answer to my prayers.
Learn more at maplespringsnorthlogan.com or call 753-9400.
Are you tired of feeling unwell and not knowing why? At NextLevel Health and Wellness, we hear you. We specialize in uncovering the root causes of your discomfort, whether it's gut health, hormone imbalances, or emotional and mental blocks. With personalized plans, advanced lab testing, and evidence-based holistic nutrition practices, we guide you toward lasting health and wholeness. Awaken your healing potential with a team that listens, understands, and supports you wherever you are. Visit nextlevelhw.com to start your journey to feeling better today.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
No problem, sweetie.
I can't believe you're able to fit everything in that little sedan.
Bye!
When they move out, you can move on to a house that fits your life. It's time to live in a space that fits your family.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty.
Let me help you to find a home that suits your needs and is less to take care of. Save money or even make money on the sale of your current home. Call me today at 512-6406, then list it, sell it, and move on.
Did you know 1 in 3 people will visit a nursing home? Did you know that once there, they will stay there for an average of 3 years? Did you also know there are insurance options that can help cover this experience? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Blue Water Health Insurance. It's not cheap to stay in a full-fledged nursing home. Long-term care insurance can help you or a loved one get the care they need and deserve. If you wait until you need it, you may be too late. Give me a call at 435-890-8155.
And welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton here with Sid Roeder, and we've been talking all things nutrition and health with Heidi Stimson from NextLevel Health and Wellness. And before, in the last segment, you talked about how even if you feel like it might be too late, that there is a possibility of maybe reversing some of the things that your lifestyle has brought in. Have you seen that with some of your clients then?
Yeah, I have. One comes to mind, a client in his 60s. He had several metabolic issues, kidney issues, high blood pressure, high A1C. So he was not fully diabetic, but pre-diabetic. And, having some of those symptoms that he was worried about. And he asked about natural supplements. There are things, as we discussed, making sure you're getting your electrolytes. Magnesium can help with blood pressure. But I told him something that I find myself saying often, and that is, if diet is the cause, then diet is the cure. So no supplement is going to override the effects of your diet. And I know that, again, lifestyle change is hard. I understand that. But we started with just cutting out processed foods and sugar for him. No more packaged snacks, soda, refined carbs. Instead, we just focused on whole foods. We didn't talk, the mathematics and macros and calories and that. I just wanted him to switch and start focusing on the real food. And what happened was not uncommon when the body is given what it needs. It was literally 2 weeks. His blood pressure normalized without medication. And his energy levels increased, his digestion improved, he was having regular bowel movements, and he even noticed he was sleeping better. So I always remind people that isn't the case. That's really fast, 2 weeks for his blood pressure to normalize. So it was obvious that his was being driven by a high sugar, high processed food diet. There can be other contributors, but it's, at the end of the day, food isn't just fuel, it's information for the body. And when your body is given the right information, it's amazing how fast it can normalize. So diet is just a powerful thing to help with a lot of the symptoms that people are experiencing and to see how fast that reversed. And within, you look at A1C just every 3 months, it's a 3-month average of your blood sugar levels. And so in that 3 months, he was even able to bring that A1C down almost to pre-diabetic levels. So
That's fantastic. Yeah. And as you were talking a little bit about those diet changes, which are obviously rough, and I think the older you get, the harder it maybe is to get away from all those processed foods and sugary things. Maybe this is a good question. We've gone through some tips, but people that are used to snacking during the day. What kind of tips do you have for healthier snacks to have on hand that people could prepare for?
Yeah, and real quick on that, it is a mindset. I do work with mindset shift for people, but healthy snacks to have around are, if you want to simplify, I buy the chopped vegetables that are already chopped at the store. If you want to save money, then chop them yourself. Having chopped up vegetables or, cut up celery and carrots in that so they're easy to grab. Like, make it simple. Nuts, but be careful that you're not going over on those. Like, a serving is pretty much a small handful of nuts, seeds even. But if you're a snacker, and actually this client is quite the snacker, so he really had to pay attention to that and be more mindful about it. You can really overdo it on things like nuts and stuff. So I prefer have fruit on hand, have fresh vegetables cut up in your fridge so that they are easy to go to and grab.
Okay, now this is because I'm a snacker. Does ranch void having vegetables? Or does chocolate-covered almonds count as your healthy nut?
Unfortunately, the chocolate-covered nuts tend to have a lot of sugar, and it's added sugars. Like, I'd prefer you have fruit over, the chocolate with all the added sugar in it. Those natural sugars and the fruit comes with so many things like the fiber and the prebiotic fiber that's really good for your microbiome. Like you said, the nuts. What else did you say?
Ranch.
Ranch. So there are better options, but this is one of those in-between spaces where I'm like, if the ranch is going to help you eat your vegetables, I prefer you have that than the Snickers. But there are options like hummus. Like, I love shopping at Costco, and they have the little snack pack hummuses that you can take to work with you. So you have something if you need to dip your vegetables in something, then that's a better option.
Okay, good to know. That's how we trick our kids into eating their vegetables. We put a little bit of ranch out there too. So I'm glad it's still okay a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we need to have a whole radio show about some of the sneaking veggies into your food.
Right.
But sadly, we're coming up to the end of our show. So, and this is so interesting, and I could also just listen for hours to Heidi explain things. But I don't want to leave the show without you being able to mention all your contact information and your website and location, Heidi.
Again, thank you. I'm in North Logan. It's right next to the North Logan Walmart. It's 187 East, 1600 North. My phone number, 435-774-2240. And my website is www.nextlevelhw.com. And just so you know, on my website, there is a link to schedule a free 15-minute call if you want to discuss what the process would look like for you and what you're dealing with. We can discuss it first, so you're not committed to anything.
Thank you, Heidi. This is the Senior Moments Show. We hope you tune in again next week.